everybody. I wish you all knew how nervous I was coming up here tonight, and it has nothing to do with talking in front of people, but absolutely everything to do with the fact that these microphones are infested with germs. Like, I've seen comedians, like, rub it in their armpits or smack it across their face or literally rub it in their crotch, but I've never seen one of these be cleaned. I mean, people in general are just disgusting, right? Like, I went to dinner the other day with my friend, and she stuck her hand in my perfectly clean plate of French fries as soon as it got to the table without asking permission from me. And she was then mad at me when I didn't want to continue eating from that plate. I was like, Carla, you literally just finished telling me that you put suppositories in your dog's butt with those bare hands right before we got here. You know, I'm a germaphobe, and, you know, sometimes as a germaphobe, I stop listening to what people are saying to me, but rather just think about the germs they're passing along to me. Yeah, I was at work the other day, and one of my coworkers was like, hey, Dani, I borrowed your chapstick and put it back in your purse. But when I hear that, I hear, hey, Dani, I borrowed your chapstick, and now you have chlamydia. I don't avoid germs just for funsies. I'm a hypochondriac, and for those of you who don't know what that means, every day I think I'm dying. Like, for one reason or another, I'm constantly scanning my body for different symptoms. You know, if I'm having a stomachache, appendicitis. If I'm coughing, tuberculosis. If my pinky toe is twitching, probably leukemia. You know, I'm like a regular at the doctor's office now. I walk in and they're like, Dani, how are you? Still doing stand-up comedy, still touching those microphones. You know, but the problem is I don't even trust what the doctors say anymore. I walk out of there and they tell me I'm fine, but I don't believe them. And that's because of my good old friend, WebMD. Thank you, Alara, to your one-night stand. Yeah, so I have friends that are nurses and doctors that actually come to me now for medical advice. It's crazy. I got a text the other day from my friend, and she was like, I have this weird pain on my side. I was like, girl, I got you. Are you having rebound tenderness? What about shortness of breath? Any fatigue or unintentional weight loss? Okay, so from my calculations, it seems as though either you have gas or malaria. And that's because WebMD is never that, like, cool, chill friend that you call, and they're like, have some water, take a nap, you're fine. It's like my crazy Jewish grandmother who I call to tell her I have a headache, and she's like, have you called Dr. Bernstein for an MRI? Jerry, get down here, your granddaughter's on the phone, she's dying. Really, I just had a headache because I was hungover, but you know, that didn't seem to matter. We jumped to the worst case scenario. You know, I can't even do some things that I used to love, like watch the news, and that's not for the same reason that most people can't watch the news anymore, which is politics. For me, it's because there's always like a wild new mad cow disease. Last time I watched the news was during the Ebola outbreak. Great idea, right? I was with my sister, and she looked over at me at one point, and she's like, so do you have it yet? I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to feel feverish and flushed, and pass me the computer. I need to look up how to write a will. You know, but the hypochondria, like, while it can be funny, it can be kind of dark sometimes. I've been to therapy for it, more than $13 an hour, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, the problem is therapists have blocked WebMD from my computer and my phone, but, like, I've memorized it all. You know, like, if I have to memorize something like what to pack for a trip or who to vote for next week, can't remember a thing, which gets me very concerned for that early onset Alzheimer's I've been convinced that I had for years. You know, and the hypochondria doesn't go great with my love for travel. I really do love traveling, and I'm not afraid about the plane going down, but rather I'm afraid about all the germs from the variety of different countries that are on the plane. Like, I was going through TSA last time I flew, and the TSA agent stops me because my bag obviously goes off. And, you know, he's like, oh, what do you got in there, girl? You got some liquid lipstick or some perfume? You know, something sexy. I'm like, no. I've got a full medicine cabinet in there. I was like, is it the Lysol wipes, the spray, the Pepto-Bismol, or is it that new Zyrtec nasal spray I've been dying to try? You know, and what's so funny about those friends, you know, that give me a hard time about not touching elevator buttons or door handles, they are the same people that are the first to come to me for my CVS that I have carrying along with me. You know, one of my friends had this, like, weird rash on her leg. She came to me, she's like, do you have anything in that bag for me? I was like, of course I do. But it's not for you, it's for me, so I don't catch whatever that is. And I just noticed that some of Genesis's leftover lipstick is on this microphone, so I'm gonna go Lysol spray my mouth. Thank you.